What time do you have to go?
No, I've got loads of time. What I'm saying is like, I have to stand up once a minute.
Through this podcast?
Every hour. No, through the hours of the day, I have to stand up for at least once a minute so that my watch registers that I'm standing up and doing exercise.
So I've never, until recently, and I think this is one of those like, new year, new you sort of things.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely getting a little bit out of shape.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think it's definitely, it's an age thing. Because
Yeah.
I used to be that guy that could eat what he wants, do what he wants. I mean, I've always been fairly active, but not like sporty.
This is the problem.
And now I'm in a chair. Like, if I'm filming, I'm driving, I'm in a chair. I'm
you're
driving
editing,
somewhere, I'm editing, I'm in a chair. I'm just in a chair, I'm flying somewhere, I'm in a chair.
Yeah.
The most airport I get, the most exercise I get is walking through an airport, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, man, I need to keep track of this. And all of a sudden, the idea of an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
good?
genuinely changed my lifestyle, my mentality around my exercise.
Because I was exactly hold you accountable.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. Like, I played a lot of sport when I was at school.
Yeah.
I was naturally active, therefore could eat whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I never thought about the calories that I was consuming versus the calories that I was burning. But then, 5-6 years into YouTube, exactly that. You're driving, you're in a chair. You're editing, you're in a chair.
Yeah.
You're on a plane, you're in a chair. Regardless of what you're doing, you are more often than not sitting down.
And road trip life just is inherently unhealthy.
It is killer.
It's
I've got a road
just the
trip next
worst.
month and I'm like, I'm gonna have to do like 50 press-ups every time I go to the petrol station just to stay active.
Yeah. With the exception of the odd banana, when's the last time you walked into a service station and found
Healthy
something
food.
nutritious? Like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
What is that about? It's so weird, right?
I don't know. I think everyone's just after a quick meal
Yeah.
because they feel it's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Rather than actually, I should be fueling my body with the right stuff so that I can be healthy and make the most of my life. Because otherwise, you'll get to like 40 years old, then switch on to this.
Yeah.
And that's,
Without-
you're
it's a
far
bit
too
too
gone.
late.
You're far
Too
too
late.
I just felt like my heart rate was through the roof playing a charity football match when I was like 27 years old.
Yeah.
And I looked across at my niece who was like a year and a half at the time. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? Like,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm fit and healthy and investing my time into myself to make sure that I'm as healthy as possible so that I can live like the best life.
Yeah,
Because
of
we were already
course.
here once,
Yeah.
as we found out yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Kobe Bryant.
So
although I've just
we're
dated the
filming
podcast.
this on the... No, that's fine. Hopefully, if we can turn this around fast enough, it'll go out the same week.
Yeah,
but-
Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. We're sat here with the same 24 hours that... I mean, I was devastated last night, man.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm sure everyone listening to this heard the news of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
My brain when I read that had a bit of an internal wobble. Like I almost went a little bit like lightheaded.
Yeah.
Because the news was so abstract. I was
Yeah.
like, no, like this is either wrong or a hoax or I don't know. And then it started flooding in, man. I was just shocked. Utterly shocked.
I could not believe it. And then there was a real split between so many people paying their respects and how that man has changed so many people's lives.
Yeah.
Like there was people on the radio that were saying, this guy has influenced the way that I live and what I do so much that I've never mourned so hard for someone and I've never even met the guy.
It's crazy, isn't it? How
And
someone can
he's
have that much impact.
Such a huge megastar. Like I was
Young.
talking to my brother.
41, was he?
Pardon?
I think he was 41.
Yeah, 41.
I mean,
I
don't
like-
have the words, man.
yeah.
I don't have the words for it. It's
It's
super
scary.
sad.
And at 41 years old, family, he's lived this incredible life.
Yeah.
And worked so hard to get to where he is, where he can kind of
Enjoy
retirement
it.
is enjoying
Yeah.
enjoying or reaping the rewards to your success. And I mean, yeah, and his daughter as well. I mean, that's yeah.
It's hard. But anyway, not to glaze over that, but
No.
there's plenty of news out there which is super sad. And hopefully people listening to this will be picked up, revitalized.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some success stories. Paul Wallace, Supercars of London, everybody. Welcome to Full Chat.
I'm that.
Yeah, you are that,
I'm
man.
supposed to raise the
You're
mood.
supposed to raise the mood, man. Well, I mean, honestly, of all the people in this game, and do you know what was funny? I was speaking to my dad last night, and he sort of stays on top of like people in this
Yeah.
this game. He doesn't know everyone necessarily by name.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, so what are you up to this week? He said, oh, I'm filming a podcast tomorrow with Paul. He goes, oh, that guy that smiles all the time. Well, yeah,
that's
nice. That guy.
That is
Yeah,
good.
exactly, right?
That's good.
So, and I think it is true.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great, man. You're always optimistic. You always have a smile on your face. So we won't delve into your complete life story, but as a brief overview for anyone listening, watching, who doesn't know, are you in your 10th year now?
This is now my 11th year.
So you're starting
my
your
12th
11th
year.
year. Oh, wow.
October 2008. Okay. October 2008 was when I started. So October 2018 was 10.
Yeah.
October 2019 was 11.
Okay.
So this is the 12th year.
For anyone tuning in, what he means by started is YouTube.
Started YouTube. I had a channel before Supercars of London too.
Is that included in that 12 years, or is that
no?
That's ridiculous.
That's like 2 years before
You're making me
Supercars
feel
of London.
super junior here. Yeah. I think I'm beginning my 5th year. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, my first 5-6 years was really part-time. So I only really classed myself as a full-time YouTuber once I came out of university in 2013.
Yeah.
So that's 7 years.
Right. So you actually worked for HRO in Ferrari?
I did.
For how long? Doing what?
I worked from January until August 2010, prior to me going to university.
Okay.
So I got my place at university. I deferred a year and basically said, I'm going to come next year. I want to go out and get some experience first.
Cool.
And I was desperate to work at my local Ferrari Maserati dealer because it was my go-to place to get my car fixed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Mum, can we go today? Like, there's nothing else that we're doing. Let's just go and spend like half an hour looking around the cars. And at the time, it was like 360 Spiders, like Challenge Stradale if you were lucky. And I asked there when I was in year 9 whether I could do work experience there. And they were like, these cars are really expensive. Like, you can't even wash these cars, because you'll probably get rocks in the paint. And I was like, okay. So when I came out of school and I had deferred my year at university and I had this year to kill, I was like, right, my YouTube channel was starting. I was uploading to Supercars of London. I was like, this is the best of both worlds. I can work and earn money around cars and then get content for my YouTube channel and potentially earn money by doing car stuff. So I worked there for 8 months, full-time, and I spent a lot of time front of house, meeting, greeting clients, taking a load of photos. So I took all of the photos for HRO and Ferrari and Maserati for all of the cars that were coming in for sale.
Right.
And then I was like, how can we earn more money on social media? And they're like, whoa, what's social media? And I was like, look, I do YouTube.
What is this social media
I do YouTube,
thing?
but I can sell these cars and get it out to another audience. And I was already having that mindset as to how you can use social media
for like wider reach.
For a wider reach. And they're like, look, we don't understand this. And to be honest, like, we don't even have social media. And I was like, right, okay. What about eBay? And I was like, yeah, we could do eBay. So I ended up going through like the back room in HRO, and I found like a 599 headlight. I found like a luggage set for a 599, and I found loads of random stuff that I went and photographed and then put it on eBay underneath like a HRO in eBay account.
So you're on that flip life.
Yeah, I was selling stuff. I was like calling up dealerships from HRO and be like, what have you got in your back room? Like, I can sell it on eBay, we can make money. And
So most people start on eBay with like an old guitar tuner, but you know, that's in their like wardrobe or something. Paul starts with 599 headlights.
Yeah. It was a short-lived career, and there was always like an ending.
Yeah.
But what I loved so much about working at HRO was the people that I met, I've stuck with and stayed in communication with, because they've all gone off to do some different things. Like, there are still a lot of people within the HRO company that still work for HRO. So coming out of university and wanting to be a full-time YouTuber and make car content continuously throughout the year, I was like, I can speak to so many people that are around these cars that can help me.
Yeah.
And one of the clients that came into HRO gave me my first leg up to create my first supercar, where I filmed Premier Velocity's entire supercar rental fleet.
Awesome.
He was a guy that came into HRO.
Right.
So actually, like, my little work experience catapulted
Worked out.
a lot of the content onto the sort of wider audience where I started to gain a big following when I actually started to talk on camera.
You were so early in it. How did you, like, I mean, if you, I actually did a talk in a school a few months back.
Okay.
And it was about...
Was it your old school?
No, it wasn't,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it was a different school.
That was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 to like 17-year-old kids. And it was like, at the end of it, there was this theme. And the generic, what do you want to be when you grow up sort of thing. And it was footballer, YouTuber.
Wow.
It was unbelievable, man. Quite disconcerting because there was no firemen or doctors in there. I was like, we're screwed. Right?
Oh my God, I've got the best story.
Go on.
So I got sent a screenshot. There was like a meme of a conversation that was happening on a plane where someone was having a heart attack on the plane and the dad nudges the son and goes, why don't you go up and help? And the son's like, Dad, like, I'm a YouTuber. I can't help. And the dad was basically like this embarrassed father that his son was a YouTuber and hadn't gone down the route of being a doctor. He was like, but go and check, see if What's Up Guys can help him. It's like, that's the qualification of YouTuber. Just go and see if you could go up to him and be like, what's up guys? It's still dead. It literally had me in stitches
Sad
for about a
situation,
day.
man.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you started, it would have been footballer and whatever, rock star, or whatever, or doctor or fireman or whatever.
I really had to hide going into London to film cars from my school friends.
So at the time, it was like an embarrassment.
Yeah, it was.
But that's super cool, man. That like, I mean, that is a pure 100% distilled example of you doing what you love doing.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you were like, this isn't cool.
I knew it wasn't cool.
But I love it.
Yeah, I was going up to Knightsbridge, to like the richest part of London.
Yeah.
Dressed not dissimilar to how I'm dressed now, still look like a tramp, 12 years on. But I knew that I didn't fit in there. And I was seeing these Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis driving around, driven by these incredibly affluent people, because back then these cars weren't as accessible as they are now.
Not at all.
So these people were like super rich, like buying these cars cash and driving them around, and I was running after them, filming them in my Umbro trackies, and I knew that I was not.
You might get shot.
Yeah. And people going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, just filming that car. And they're like, who's in it? I was like, "No, I don't know, I'm filming the car. So even at school, I was avoiding most social activities. So a lot of my friends had older brothers. I had an older brother too.
Yeah.
Still have one. And they were getting their brother's fake IDs to go to these clubs, to go and buy alcohol. And I had access to my brother's driver's license and his ID. Yeah. But I went to London and filmed cars. Not because I was earning any money from it, because I wasn't back then. Google didn't even own YouTube. Yeah. So there was no money whatsoever. But I just got a massive buzz about going into London with a friend of mine and just coming back, looking at the clips that we had got that day, going, that was epic.
Crazy.
Because it was real life Top Gear.
Yeah.
You saw these cars in the flesh and heard them.
At what point did you, I mean, so when you left uni, that was 2013? So at that point, so YouTube was bought by Google in 2006?
Yeah.
So in that time then, I assume the whole ad revenue thing had started?
It had started. We were definitely one of the first automotive channels to get accepted onto the AdSense program. Right. Because back then it was really meticulous in the way that they chose you. Right. Because obviously they were charging ads, quite expensive ads, and they needed the right content creators to put these ads on. So we had to submit a business proposal to YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we were like, this is how much money we're going to put into the channel. Wow. This is our aims and objectives. This is how much time we're going to do. This is what the whole channel is aiming to achieve in the next 2 to 3 years. And then when we got accepted, we were like, great, this is so cool. We're like Google employees. Like at that time, it was like, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. And then like 20 quid came into the bank. And I was like, oh man, like, I'm pretty sure Google had more money than that. But at the time, our videos weren't getting that many hits. Right. And then it was actually through university that I started to see YouTube manipulate the algorithms so that we got much higher exposure. And that was when all of a sudden you started to earn much more serious money. And I'm talking like £800, £1,000 for a month's worth of YouTube videos that I shot about 6 years ago. Because whilst I was at uni, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't shooting content.
So all of a sudden it just started to earn.
Yeah, it just started to earn money.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I need this snowball to continue to roll.
Yeah.
So then every single holiday, I was back into London, I was filming, I was doing everything I could to get videos so that I could post it online. And as soon as I came out of uni, my final day, my final exam, and I was like, I'm done with uni, I packed up my car, because I had a Vauxhall Astra at the time, I packed up my car and I drove straight to central London. I didn't even go home.
Brilliant.
I went straight to central London and I filmed until 2 a.m.
Awesome.
Every single day. I finished in April, every single day through to September, I was in London until 2 a.m.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are, surrounded by incredible, beautiful cars, none of which are mine.
Mine either. Oh, actually, there's one over there. There was at the back, at the back. Yeah.
But it's been an absolute whirlwind journey that I could never have predicted. I've achieved goals that I set out with no idea how I was going to achieve it. I wanted to own a Lamborghini by 25. When I was like 16, 17, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a Lamborghini by 25. I just felt that was like a cool age to have a Lamborghini at.
Yeah.
And I would sit there in classroom, staring out of the window, and I would imagine, with my eyes open, I'd daydream, a Murcielago LP640 cruising up the road, and I'd just basically like be staring into space, but in my eyes I could see this Lamborghini with me in it. So like, somehow I'd like out of body experience watching myself drive up, thinking like one day I'm going to turn up to my own school in a Lamborghini.
Have you?
No.
You've had two since now?
Three.
Okay, three. You've had three.
I had a Gallardo,
wow.
which was I bought at 24, and that was like a real
huge.
Box
Massive
tick moment.
Yeah.
But then also quite terrifying.
Yeah.
Because I'd not planned for what happened after I actually achieved the goal.
You're like, now what?
What do I do now?
Wow. Yeah, interesting.
What do I aim for?
You were so focused on that.
I was so focused on that I completely forgot that there's life after 25 years old. And it really took me a couple of years to adjust to what do I aim for next. And to be honest, I turned 29 last week.
Yeah.
And it's only now really hit me what should the next goal be. Right. And it's really like my 30s are going to be
building.
Serious building.
Yeah.
And in my 30s I'm going to be a millionaire.
Cool.
That's my next goal.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm just going to go and do it now.
Do it.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's a really exciting time to do it. For me, 2020 has been this massive like benchmark because it's the start of a new decade.
I'm exactly the same.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not necessarily treating it as a clean slate, but I'm like, at the end of this decade, I'm going to be into my 40s.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, and then it's you better have your ducks in a row then, bro, right? Because, okay, the last 4 years have been fun running around playing with supercars.
Yeah.
You've got to build some infrastructure now.
If you think 2010, when we entered the last decade, I guarantee you would never have thought that you would have been married and had a kid.
Mate, I can't explain to you the life shift which has happened in the, I mean, the whole wife and kid thing, but, you know, I'm entering my 5th year of YouTube, right? So, which means I've been doing it for 4 years. Yeah. Of which 2 of those were full-time. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So when you start to break this down, it's like...
Where you started and where you ended.
What is going on? Like, the amount of life change in the grand scheme of things, a relatively short amount of time. Yeah. Half of that time I've been half-arsing it, right? Imagine what I'm going to do in 10 years if I dedicate my entire life to it. So prior to this, you know, I worked in this, it was just a plasterboard box office that overlooked a scrapyard. Like that was it. And I was like, just not aware of the world that was about to unfold. And it all happened through cars and just crazy, crazy stuff. So
because we met way before you started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's it.
On a Where Shmee tour?
It was an early Shmee tour.
Yeah, I had my R8, you had an R8.
That's right, yeah, you were that crazy loud. All right.
So much has changed. I look back on some of those cars and I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, the first thing you do is go and buy a big cracking whack-off pipe and stick it on a new car.
Sometimes it sounds good, sometimes it doesn't.
So, I will talk to you in a minute about where you think, or what your sort of plans are for the next whatever, but... If you could buy some socks, perhaps some new Umbro trackies.
Yeah. Learn how to dress.
What would you tell yourself 10 years ago? if you could fast forward to the future, meet Paul Wallace sat here now, and you could shake yourself on the shoulders and go, Paul.
I think, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that like YouTube and just generally life, I think, whatever form you're in, wherever you're working, there are moments where you sit yourself down and you're like, man, it's not going well.
Yeah.
I just don't feel good. And actually, I've seen some quotes, and one that I shared on my Instagram story that Kobe Bryant said, where it's like, when you're feeling pain or when you're feeling low, that is the moment where 90% of people will give up. And actually, the 10% go on to achieve greatness.
Sure.
So I would probably say that, yeah, there will probably be some low times in the next 10 years. There'll be some difficult times, there'll be pain. But you are in that small percentage, as you've proven in the last decade, that you can go on and change, you can go on and continue to do some insane things. That's probably what I'd say.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people see the 15 minutes that we post on YouTube and go, man, like that guy's living the dream.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that many people have talked about and documented as well.
Sure.
It's something that I don't really get the opportunity to talk about too much, which is why I love coming on the podcasts. Because you can just have like this massively open discussion and talk about anything. So that's probably it. I'd probably say, look, there are going to be low times, there are going to be hard times, there's going to be pain that you're going to feel. But if you've already got through some of the really bad times, then everything else should be a doddle.
Sure.
So man up
and get on with it.
And get on with it.
Yeah. No, I think it's a really interesting topic because, you know, as we've just spoken about, the amount of people who aspire to be, whether it's a YouTuber or a TikToker or whatever the next thing will be, I think the format and the concept's still very much the same. And, you know, everything that, in a way, what we put out is a complete highlight reel, isn't it? It's the best 5% that day could possibly be. Yeah. And then we go and edit it to make it look even better. Right? Yeah. And the end result of what gets published online makes it look like the most glorious thing you can possibly do. And it is, like, don't get me wrong, man, like, as I mentioned, sat in that sort of whitewashed plasterboard office. Yeah. It could be worse.
I wake up every morning grateful and thankful and pinch myself. Yeah. Because I'm like, what am I doing today? I'm going to go down and do this.
Like, the day that I look in the mirror and go, oh no, not another supercar, is the day that I need a punch in the face. Right? Yeah. And I mean, you must get it as well. You'll be at an event, I don't know, Goodwood Festival of Speed, and someone who's aspiring to be in this world will be like, oh, you know, have you got any tips? Or I'm really thinking about getting involved in it. The amount of chats that I have, people want to get involved on it based on what they've seen on your channel. Yeah. And I speak to them for 15 minutes and I find out that they're actually interested in cycling. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, you should do that.
Yeah, go and film cycling.
Because
it's your entire life.
Beyond your entire, like most people's entire life is 9 till 5, right? It's like, okay, this is my job, as it were. You just said a minute ago, you left uni, you hadn't even gone home, and your entire summer, which is most people's time off before they join the real world, you were in London till 2 a.m., right? And I think I can't stress that enough, that like the disproportionate amount of hours that you have to allocate to this thing, right? And I think without that, it is pure distilled love for it. Yeah, because
you have to.
When you were doing that for, you know, £800 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, and most people in their right mind would go, well, this is fun, but like not 2 a.m. every day of the week fun. It's just, I can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. It's ridiculous. I'm off.
Oh yeah, my mum just did not understand it and was like, I'm a little bit worried. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like my son is just disappearing. Yeah. Could be going off and doing anything, but he's coming back with these videos of cars, so I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. But actually, like, is there anything sustainable here? And I think that was obviously when everything was so new and social media, and it has matured out, and the whole industry has matured out. Yeah. But going back to like these 10, 15 minutes that we post out online, go back to what our dream jobs were. Footballer, rock star, Top Gear presenter.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Like, we were seeing 90 minutes of a football match. Yeah. And I've now seen what goes on behind the 90
before
days.
And after
These guys are sacrificing Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, Boxing Day, their entire life is dedicated to football because they love it. And they are in a fortunate enough position where they can play at the top flight. But that comes from hard work and talent.
But like, and
you dream
this
of-
sounds like something out of a Richard Branson handbook, but it sounds super cliche. But it's, I mean, if there's anything that I've learned over the last 5 years is the job that I was in previously, I'll put my hand up, I was living for the weekend. I was like, Friday can't come soon enough, hated Sunday evenings, like the concept of Monday coming around, etc. And it was because, as cliche as it is, I didn't love doing it, right? And then along comes this opportunity which, at the time, didn't pay.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to spend my entire life doing it, right? And I really think as a result of that, that sort of just blind perseverance, and it's not perseverance because you're constantly thinking, I must keep doing this. It's because you can't think about doing anything else. Right? I think in this space, in fact, in any space, if you want to be the Kobe or the whoever, I think you need that, right?
You have to have that mentality, and I don't think you can be taught it in a weird way.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own passion and everyone has their own interests. You can make YouTube videos about flipping bottles or bottle top caps.
Yeah. If that's your true passion, it'll happen.
Yeah. There are 6-year-olds out there that like unboxing toys, and there was like, I think it was like a 6-year-old US American kid that their family had obviously set the channel up. She earned $24 million last year.
It's insane,
by like
isn't it?
unboxing toys because she got so excited about what was in the box.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much opportunity now. Social media has created a platform for anyone.
Yeah, that's it.
And the opportunity's out there. And I mean, I was just incredibly lucky to be so early on.
Yeah.
That actually when it really started to pick up and take off, I was already there and established. And I remember going around London 5-6 years into Supercars of London, and other people with cameras were starting to come up to me and say, oh, cool, like you're filming cars too. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what's your channel? And I'm like, Supercars of London. They go, oh man,
you're the dude,
Supercars
you're the
of
guy.
London. And I was like, like, I just love cars. I'm just still a man with a camera.
Oh, it's brilliant. Man. Super cool. I think, you know, if I could go back and do that talk again with those kids, I think I would put more emphasis on my thing's cars, but like identify your thing. Yeah. But what was interesting afterwards, the amount of kids who came over to me who were like, I don't really know what I like. I'm like, bro, you're 15. Just try loads of stuff. You know, try loads of stuff. And the generic like football thing is cool, and everyone's like, I like football. But I'm like, but do you like it to like the fabric of your DNA? Right? Because that's what it is.
Could you play football from 6 a.m.
for sure
till 2 a.m. With the floodlights on, in daylight, and non-stop.
But the important thing is here, no one cheering for you and no one cares. Right? Do that for 5 years and then it'll work out for you, right? Because I really think you have to not care what anyone else thinks. Because if it's like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to be seen around nice cars, it's very different than doing it because you love cars. And I think the game that we're in, you know, if you're only dipping in and out of it, it can look like a very ego-driven, flashy lifestyle.
I'm just driving a Ferrari today.
But, you know, I really hope that if anyone consumes our content for more than 15 seconds, it's about the car, not about us. You know, I love sharing cars. I'm not like, look at me standing next to this car. You know what I mean? It's not about that. And I think that is a hard part for us is we're not trying to be flashy. We're trying to share amazing machinery.
To us, these are like art.
100%.
It's not a case of I need to boost my image and street cred.
No.
I was actually super nervous. The first video I ever put my face on front of the camera was I was filming a Ferrari 458 at Premier Velocity. So I was in a Ferrari. I was panicking what my school friends would think, because this is now the moment that my secret is going to come out, that I have been filming cars for the last 5 years.
Supercars of London.
I'm Supercars of London.
Wow.
Not the fact, hey, I'm in a Ferrari. My schoolmates are going to think I'm cool as hell.
Right.
I'm cruising around in a Ferrari.
That wasn't your thought?
Not at all. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think that I'm a nerd.
Really?
Yeah. So like
nerds take over the world, man.
Yeah.
Nerds take over the world.
Zuckerberg.
Zucks, Elon Musk,
Yeah.
Bill Gates,
Yeah.
Bezos,
Yeah.
like all of these boys, nerdy as hell.
Yeah. And then you'll get hacked.
Yeah, cool. So what's next? So look, 2020, I've been picking up on a theme. You're sort of going more down the like health and fitness, life improvement line. What's next, man?
2020 is, for me, a really big and exciting year. This is the first year that I've actually gone into the 1st of January with concrete plans and almost financial stability.
Brilliant.
So for the last 10 years, I've sort of started the new year with no plans, being like, okay, I'm gonna have to manufacture a bunch of videos now to get the ball rolling. This year, I worked really hard through the summer and through the winter to focus on how am I gonna make the year more structured, have more form, but also be as exciting as before.
Yeah.
So 2020, I have got this really exciting thing with Grenade, which is the 90-day transformation, which I'm dedicating myself 100% to.
That's awesome.
And I love it.
Don't forget to stand up.
I'm good. I think I've got 14 more minutes.
Okay, cool.
That, for me, there are two things about that. Firstly, I think it's exciting content because a passion of mine is sport, fitness, and to be able to create that on YouTube where I've been solely cars is really exciting to be able to delve into that world and to see how it works. But also from a personal level, like I'm not filming 99% of the time I go to the gym. So actually, to see the development and see the motivation of me achieving goals and lifting heavier weights and seeing myself slowly transform is actually a mentality that I'm taking into my YouTube as well, where I'm saying, okay, now I've got these goals and objectives that I want to achieve in the gym, which I'm now transferring with a positive mindset into YouTube.
It's cool.
So for the first time in a long time, I've listened to many comments about quality over quantity.
Cool.
I used to be the slave to
the algorithm.
I was so terrified of not uploading for more than 2 days because people would forget about me.
Yeah.
That it's a really bad mindset to have because you're constantly chasing the next video.
Unhealthy, man.
Yeah. And I was at home. It was 7 p.m. I was supposed to be spending time with my girlfriend. I'd be on my phone looking for that next video. How am I going to get it? I'll be editing, and it was just this constant hamster wheel.
And you start putting out content for content's sake.
Exactly.
So what you're delivering to the audience
isn't necessarily what you want.
You know, I'm not putting you down, but it's like,
no,
compared to what you might want to make, it might be, you might consider it junk. It's like the equivalent to making yourself a decent meal or just going junk food.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. I still put a lot of videos in the recycling bin that I edited.
That's fascinating.
I can't upload that.
Yeah, you're like,
that's terrible.
Really?
That is terrible. Like, I can't even talk to the camera.
Yeah.
And there are some other times where I'd put the video together and I'd be like, oh, that came out better than expected. Therefore, I'll put it out. Whereas actually now I'm having a really, really exciting structure. I've got some amazing projects. The Murcielago is being painted and finished soon.
Which looks amazing.
The Ferrari outside is going to look amazing at the end of it as well. It doesn't look amazing now. But neither do I. So everything is going through this transformation. My channel's gone back to 1 video a week, Sunday 5 p.m. I get excited about editing the video. I get excited about coming up with a creative and narrative. I think about how the video is going to look before I shoot it. I was in Barcelona filming a wicked video with an electric car, seeing whether I can get range anxiety, and we took it on a proper test.
That's really cool.
And throughout the first few months of this year, I've just, for the first time, had this structure that is the most refreshing thing in my life, that hopefully, on camera, it will come across that I'm healthier, I'm happier. I know you said that, like, your dad thinks that I smile all the time. Like, I smile more.
Smile more now.
Look at Daniel Ricciardo. Like, Daniel Ricciardo literally is living the dream. Don't get me wrong, he will have his stresses.
He's under some stress, of course, but
But, like, he's just a hero.
Yeah.
So if I can be, like, 10% of how happy Daniel Ricciardo is, then that's gonna be so cool. So the Murcielago is getting painted. I love it. I think the job that they've done on it is utterly ridiculous.
I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it.
When it's put back together, I just am going to stare at it for the entire day. I'm going to take so many photos of it.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing car to own. I've ticked the box emotionally, financially, and basically own my dream car.
Yeah.
And I did say, like, this was going to be a forever car. But realistically, that car doesn't really fit into many of the plans that I've got this year. Road trips, driving many miles. We talked about this in Portugal last year. Like, you with the TDF, me with the Murcielago.
Yeah, for sure.
They're great cars, but actually to use, you're terrified because you put mileage on it and the value goes down.
I mean, the TDF, I mean, look, market's just completely like dropped itself, you know. I mean, but the use that I have from that car is, I'd go so far as to say a special occasion car.
Yeah.
Because it's either when we're going to go out on a joint road trip together and make some like decent content. The most I used it last year was I did the Targa Florio in Sicily.
Yeah.
So that's like involves like putting it on a truck because heaven forbid you drive it down. Right? You know what I mean? So and it's like, okay, I mean, you know, and again, TDF for me is Murcielago to you. It was one of those major bucket list, like, wow moments.
Yeah.
You get it. And the reality of it is, can I use this? I mean, look, the GT3, I daily that car.
Yeah.
Like it's got 17,000 miles on it, right? Whereas, you know, that car, I think it's got 3,500 miles on it in 18 months.
Yeah.
400 of those were Sicily in 5 days, you know?
Yeah.
So when you look at the use case of it.
I think I've owned the Murcielago for about the same, 18 months, because I think we bought our cars similar time.
We did, because we were like, V12 buddies, let's go. And then we never did it. We were like, oh, let's go take some photos.
I think I've done less than 2,000 miles in that car.
Wow.
Because
it's so loud. Just like a cracking big exhaust on it.
Yeah, you can't drive it down at least 40% of the roads in the UK. If you're going to a destination, you've got to know, is there speed bumps? What's the parking situation like? Because you can't park at most places.
Yeah,
so as a car, it's totally useless. But as an occasion, it's the best thing in the world.
It is next level as an occasion.
I think because it doesn't fit into many of my plans, I've teased about it a lot online, talking about what could I replace it with, and I think eventually it will get replaced.
Sure.
Which is sad, but at the same time, I
it's
can't.
also quite exciting.
I can't exactly. It's exciting that there's something new coming, and I think that will be really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I just can't afford to have it. Because now with the paint, you have to garage it, you have to
careful
really
with
look after it, you have to and so I think I'll pass it on to someone that will appreciate it, love it, but have also the facilities and resources to be able to treat it exactly how it should be. So
exciting.
Yeah.
Well, before you sell it, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen it in its original guise. And listen, if you're not following Paul on Instagram and YouTube, just look for. Do you prefer Supercars of London for Instagram? That's like your car page, and then Wallace is more your personal page, right?
Yeah. I set up Wallace PJW with my girlfriend. We only followed each other. It was a private account because I was traveling a lot, so I was able to share photos to an Instagram page that she could see.
Is that how that started?
Yeah.
Right, I had no idea.
But I mean, we got WhatsApp. I don't know why.
Oh, you did that.
I did that. And I actually had to so I sat down with her and I was like, look, Supercars of London is going really, really well, but I think I want to open up the personal page to people that want to follow what I get up to. So I hope it's okay if I make it public and start allowing people to come and follow me. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, it's totally fine. and then here we are, like with a crazy amount of followers, and I love that page because it really gives me a lot of freedom and flexibility to post anything. That takes my interest. I go on Instagram stories, I go and watch my brother-in-law play football, and there I am kicking a ball around with my nephew.
That's cool,
I just feel like it's enabling me to express myself much more than in a 15-minute YouTube video where I'm just trying to focus on the latest, the greatest cars, the road trips and everything like that.
For sure.
So it kind of gives me, enables me to show other angles and aspects of my life.
Not just be confined to cars.
Exactly, yeah.
That's awesome,
It's
man.
more to me than cars. Not much more.
Not much more. Trucks and bottoms and cars.
About 5%.
So, we did a road trip together with Sam and Seb just before Christmas.
Yeah.
We've
done a lot of road trips together. We've had some fantastic memories.
We need to sort one out this year.
Yeah, we do.
And I think it should be something quite special.
Yeah. It has to be. It's 2020.
It's got to be, man.
We've talked about all of the special things.
And it's one that was hard last year because Sam was away the entire year.
Yeah.
You know. And I think it'd be really cool to get back together. And it feels like sort of the early days. You know, even though everyone's advanced and gone on and done their own thing, there's something about when we come back together again.
Yeah.
When we went on that trip, it really reminded me of like almost why I started it.
Yeah.
You know? Because this
yeah.
world behind the scenes again becomes because now look, I don't have a job now. Like this is my full time. This is my life.
Yeah.
So
I have to
like
keep busy
but
all the
yeah,
time.
so like behind the scenes, it has to be commercial. It has to be business driven.
Yeah.
And every now and again, you get those golden moments when you go back to why you started.
Yeah.
And it was just sharing the enjoyment of cars. So
Yeah.
I'd love to do more of that this year. You know?
Yeah. I think the road trip obviously was supposed to be down in the south of France. We were supposed to go to Italy, which would have been amazing. I think the road trip lifestyle of all being together and all creating content around the same thing, but all of our different angles.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's really important as well is once we get to the hotel, we're all having dinner, we're having beers, we're all having a laugh and showing like the most funniest stuff we've seen on Instagram. And I think they are like incredibly rare moments now because it was 2017, the last road trip that we did with 675 LT, Hurricane. I mean, that trip, like we still talk about the moments on that road trip. Like going to Rome and looking through the chain link fence, like getting that orange ball in Sardinia.
Finding the turtle on the road.
Oh yeah.
Paul rescued it. Our sat nav went like dramatically wrong and sent us down this sort of dirt track.
Yeah, we went off-roading.
And we went off-roading in 675 LT and Paul's rear-wheel drive Hurricane at that time. And like Paul just stops and I'm following him and I'm like, maybe the road's too bumpy. I'm gonna have to reverse all the way down this like dirt track. And he gets out, walks to the front of his car, comes back around the side of his car, holding a turtle. He just found a turtle in the middle of the road.
They're genuinely like the best series of videos.
Yeah.
And if I was only forced to watch like a specific strand of content for the rest of my life, it'd be road trip stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we loved with Top Gear.
Yeah.
The Grand Tour have basically scrapped all of their
all of their studio stuff.
all of their studio stuff, all of their new car stuff.
road trip
Like,
stuff.
we just love road trips.
Yeah.
And that's the same with us. And I think this year we teased the idea of going to Japan.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I
we
would love that.
wouldn't really be able to take our own cars going to Japan.
But I love the idea of going to Japan and getting some domestic market cars, doing the whole Top Gear, like blind turn up with like, what car are you turning? And try our best to genuinely try and do that.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
I watched the first episode I've ever seen of Freddie Flintoff, Chris Harris, and Paddy McGuinness on Top Gear, where they went to Africa, and they all got $5,000 to go and find the closest example they could of their first car for their road trip. And I was like, what a genius idea. It would have been so cool. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought we could just rip that off.
Fully. You've heard it here first.
But yeah, I think we need to look at dates quite seriously.
Quite soon as well.
And quite soon.
Yeah.
I think we need to get Sam and Seb as well. Hopefully Sam's not bored of driving.
I was just going to say, because what Sam's looking forward to is another road trip. Having just come off literally driving the world.
Yeah, so I think we seriously need to shortlist ideas and come up with a plan ASAP. But where would be your dream place to go? Like, is Japan it?
I would love to do Japan in a Japanese car. I would love to do.
I think the more people I speak to that have been to Japan, they're like, you have to go.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
cool,
so alien to what we're used to. We've done Monaco countless times.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably should venture a little bit further.
That would be amazing.
Put our balls on the line.
Yeah, and just go for it.
Turn up with no cars and be like, okay, now we've got to find cars. Like we did it in Dubai. Me, Tim, Sam and Seb, we went to Dubai for the F1 with no F1 tickets, like nothing.
Yeah.
We weren't even in the same city. And we were like, let's just like turn up and see what happens. We managed to scam some tickets and we went in.
Brilliant.
But like that's what we should be doing in Japan.
Just
like,
winging it.
Just turn up like with our bags and a passport and
okay,
be like,
need to find a car now.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to go that part of the world or area just yet.
Well,
wait for that virus to
wait for that to blow over.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just go to LA.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Cars we're looking forward to this year. This is a big year.
It is a big year.
Yeah.
It's a big year, but also I'm a little bit nervous for something.
Go on.
And I'll come on to that in a little bit. I'm really excited about the Ferrari Roma.
Okay.
I love that.
Tell me more.
I'm not a big Ferrari fan.
No.
Which I think is fairly obvious.
Says the man who just turned up in a 458 Italian.
But when you watch my channel, I think like the earlier Ferraris are cooler. I really like the look of the Ferrari Roma, minus the engine.
Okay.
I think it's quite revolutionary in their design.
Yeah.
So I'm quite looking forward to that. There's a few things coming out with Lamborghini, not really this quarter.
When do we think we'll see the Aventador successor?
Oh my God, I mean...
This is some time off.
This is a long way off.
Okay, so it's not this year.
A long way off. And one of the reasons behind why it's a long way off is the SF90.
Right, okay. All of a sudden they're like, oh.
I'll leave it like that.
We got to step up the game.
Yeah. So I think there's some exciting cars, but yeah, going on. Geneva this year.
Yeah.
Everyone's pulling out.
Lambo aren't there, are they?
Lamborghini aren't there. Ford aren't there. Volvo aren't there. Peugeot, Citroën aren't there. Like big manufacturers realizing that Geneva isn't the platform anymore.
Any car show isn't the platform anymore.
They've got their own social medias. They can do their own launch.
For sure.
And they don't have to cut through the noise of everyone else launching a car.
I'm surprised for Ferrari there. Last year they built their own building next to the factory specifically to launch cars.
Yeah.
They don't need to be there.
Yeah.
You know. So it's an interesting time.
I'll tell you what I'm actually quite excited about.
Well, actually, Roma, has that been to a show yet? Roma, I'm not sure. So they've got Roma.
No. They've got Roma, potentially 812 GTS.
Yeah, they could put 812 GTS on a stand. Will they fully drop the mic and do an 812 GTO at this time, or is that too early?
I think it's too early, but what we should see is the LT720S.
We will. 765 LT.
765
That
LT.
will definitely be there.
Yeah.
As will their Elva. Is it Elva?
Yeah,
I've
Elva.
not seen that in person.
No. It's cool though.
Yeah, I'm actually not remotely interested in it. Interestingly. I don't know why. I think I'm not remotely interested in any of these sort of these speedster type of
it's
type
kind
of thing.
So far out from probably...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I guess I'm just not the demographic for a £1.8 million no-roofed car.
Yeah.
You know,
no windscreen roof.
No windscreen car. Never mind, no roof.
Yeah.
On that topic, Aston are launching theirs, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're launching, and it will be a V12, which is cool.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, interesting cars. I'm looking forward to, and I know you're a big Porsche fan at the minute, Paul. Tony, if you're watching.
It's actually only Tony's cars.
It's only Tony's cars.
I actually quite like Porsche.
Okay, cool.
But Tony's is the worst Porsche ever.
Okay, yeah. I'm hoping we'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll see it this year. Chances are Geneva will be turbo, 992 turbo.
Yeah.
Because historically the turbos come before the GT products.
Yes.
So chances are it will be at Geneva. Unlikely they'll do both at the same time.
It would be weird.
So they might save it for, don't forget, they launched the GT2 RS at like E3.
They did, didn't they?
They didn't do
like part of a Gran Turismo game.
Yeah, E3 was I think it was a Forza. It was Forza because it was the Forza cover car that year.
Because Ford did it at Detroit because they teamed up with Forza Horizon.
Exactly.
Forza 5
so
or whatever.
Any of you listening thinking, what's E3? Largest sort of video gaming conference of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sign of the times when a car manufacturer decides to launch their car at a video game conference, right? So where they're going, they might launch this car at Geneva, which is a car show, but they could drop it at, I mean, people are launching cars at CES now.
Champions League final.
Exactly,
who knows? No but what you're going to say is you're really excited about the new GT3.
Really excited for the new GT3. That will be fascinating.
Great. The renderings look amazing. Because the 992 is hands down the first 911 I've ever taken interest on.
Is it?
For a launch.
Yeah.
Because I just think it looks incredible.
And they're wide body as standard. Like there was no narrow body like there was for the 997 gen. The turbo's going to, which sort of makes me question how much more dramatic will they be able to change the 992 to make it into the turbo and the GT3, that fatter stance, wider arches, because it already kind of has it.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
We just know that they're not
there's a new touring in the work. Yeah, I know. Fuel particulate filters and all of that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
A friend of mine recently had a Gen 2 991 GT3 RS.
Yeah, nice.
The important thing here is
Tony's.
Well, his was the production wave 2 of the Gen 2.
Okay.
Which was subject to fuel particulate filter.
Oh no.
and it did sound different. It didn't
Yeah.
sound as good.
Yeah.
But he ended up putting a JCR exhaust on it. It
Sounds
still keeps the fuel particulate filter.
Really?
But still sounds great.
Oh, okay.
So
Best
that's
of both
good.
worlds.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does genuinely sound cool as well. It's
Yeah.
not like a sort of muted farce, which is what it sounds like from stock.
I know. When I
So
saw that
hopefully-
RS6 there, I was like,
Yeah.
that's just not going to sound the same as the old one.
Well, they don't have. I mean, on the C7, this is the C8
Mm-hmm.
era of RS6. C7 had the, albeit programmed in from the ECU, lift off overrun, it pops
Yeah,
and bangs.
yeah, yeah.
This doesn't have that anymore.
Shame.
I know, which confused me because the RSQ8 does have it. So
Really?
why does that have it? Yeah. The one that I drove in Tenerife had it, and it was a Euro spec car, not a
I mean, just
US spec car.
bizarre.
So, yeah, it's an odd one. So yeah, excited for that. Cars that we know are coming 765 LT.
Yeah,
That'll be awesome.
That will
I'm
be.
sure ballistic.
Yeah.
Just beyond
it'll be terrifying. It'll be
ridiculous.
like a Senna.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
It will
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
be like a Senna.
So the thing with McLaren is every time they launch a new car, it's like blurring the lines between their entry level and their hypercar.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what's the point?
Yeah,
You know,
they
so
just
that'll be
their rate of development is something else.
It's
it is so
it's bonkers.
Cool. Yeah. As is their depreciation.
Brands, yeah, and their reliability. So brands who aren't there, Lambo aren't there because they don't think they've got anything new to show, really.
Yeah,
Either.
yeah.
So what's the point of them spending loads of money on a crazy stand?
Yeah.
So we won't be seeing anything from Lambo. Rolls-Royce, I don't know. But I don't know, are there any black
What
badge
they
things
got?
coming?
Black badge colour.
Would they, maybe the new Ghost.
Maybe new Ghost.
Maybe new Ghost.
I just hope there's
Wraith.
surprises.
Yes.
Because for me, Geneva, people have launched their cars like a week before
On
Geneva.
Instagram.
Oh, yeah, on
It's like,
Instagram
what's
and
the
Twitter.
point?
Here's our car. And then
Yeah.
like we'll go there and they pull the covers off and be
And
like,
they're
oh, it looks like it was on Instagram.
Can I seen it now? Yeah.
So I've got my Geneva pass.
Have you?
But I don't know whether I'm going to go.
Wow.
I just don't know.
Koenigsegg.
Oh, yes.
Koenigsegg will be interesting to watch,
Yeah.
for sure.
I've heard
Yeah.
some little things
Yeah,
about
yeah.
some of the cars that are coming.
Yeah, and there will be some significant milestones for the automotive world to be announced at that.
At Geneva? At Geneva.
At Geneva.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. But it'll be worth keeping an eye on that brand. I
Yeah.
think they are so exciting right now.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. So, yeah, man, great times for the car world. Let's just hope that brand. So, interestingly, on the whole fuel particulate filter, everything going green and efficient and all that sort of thing, I saw a post from Chris Harris last night, actually.
Okay.
Reposted the Suzuki Jimny, of all cars,
Yeah.
saying that Suzuki are going to have to discontinue that car sooner than they'd like because it affects their CO2 output plans on a Jimny. Yeah.
Yes, because you have to balance
Yeah.
it now.
And he was like, this is it, lads. You know, this
Yeah.
is the way it's going.
This is-
A bit of light at the end of the tunnel. You know, midway through last year, I saw on piston heads that Ferrari have filed a patent for some technology which is going to allow them to extend the life of the naturally aspirated V12. So you've got
Okay.
these two conflicting, like
Yeah.
the Jimny's going, but the 812 GTO's coming, right?
We're still
So
getting
I'm really
V12.
hoping that, you know, we still see the sort of opposite, like the extremes
Yeah.
are still okay.
Yeah.
I think the cars which have to be worried are the like C63s.
Yeah.
Because they're going like 4 cylinders, aren't
Four-cylinder, no V8.
they? Super scared.
They're basically going to die.
yeah, exactly.
And I think it will soon split to the two extremes where
Yeah.
you have these semi-autonomous or fully autonomous living room pods that can take you from A to B, which I'm all
Yeah.
for.
Dude,
because
I'm-
you're going
I'm
to be
ready.
super productive.
I'm ready.
You'll be able to do emails, you're going to be able to take phone calls, you're
Yeah,
going to be
yeah,
able
for sure.
to basically take out your entire commute
Yeah.
and still work.
Yeah.
And then
Hugely valuable.
you're still going to have the V12 Ferraris.
That's it.
And you're going to...
In a weird way, I think it could be the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Because no one likes, look,
No one likes being stuck on the M25
Yeah, like-
and having to concentrate.
don't confuse driving with commuting.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
like the fact that you're in a car going from A to B, for me, is not driving.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it's a sort
It's
of
something you've got to do, but
needs
it's
to a must.
Yeah.
You've got to do it, and you're stuck in traffic. I mean, I haven't been in to London for the best part of 6 weeks, and I started approaching here, and I was just like, this
Yeah,
hellhole.
yeah,
You know, I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to be behind the wheel.
Your only escape
Yeah.
is either listening to the radio or making a phone call.
Yeah. podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Tune in. So to be able to, like, before we started filming this, I'm really in the early stages of looking into getting like a sort of driver and a van. Because of the amount of work that I am missing out. I stupidly left London and then set up a business in London. I'm an absolute moron. And so now, like, dude, my house from here is 3 hours drive away.
Yeah, and 3 hours of wasted time. 6 hours
Dude,
of wasted time.
It's 6 hours.
6 hours of wasted time.
So if I come to NVN, I'm committing 6 hours behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Of unproductive time.
Yeah.
I now have a place to Vista Heritage. That's 2 hours from my house. That's 4 hours behind a wheel, right?
It's genuinely wasting time.
Massively waste.
Yeah.
Like, I could edit a complete
when your
video.
entire business is based on
Yes.
making sure you earn as much money for your time.
For sure, for your time. Like, being as efficient as possible. That's another movement. And I've got a feeling we'll have you back on the show again at some point, because there's lots to talk about. But the other thing that I'm getting really interested in now, and don't all go, oh man, like, it's so cliche, but the whole, like, being, I wouldn't class myself as going towards like essentialism or being a purist or being distilled to like minimalism.
Yeah.
But I am definitely throwing things out of my life which I just don't need.
Yeah.
Right? And that's, for me, a big part of December, setting myself up for this new decade, was I don't need that.
Yeah.
Like, but that's everything from, and this is going to sound terrible, people.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a few people bringing me down, man.
Yeah.
You know, like just wasting time. You know, people that I'm not like
wasting energy and wasting your time.
energy, negativity, but also things in my life. I'll walk into my like studio and room, and I'll see things lying around that I haven't even interacted with in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, simple things like books that I've read, charity shop, clothes that I don't wear anymore, charity shop,
I did
right?
that.
And it's from a clarity of mind point of view. I walk into my room now. It's my space. It's clean.
Your concentration is more precise.
My concentration is on what matters.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm slowly working my way through my life and stages, going tiny things, keeping the inside of my car clean.
Yeah.
Right. Like really small things that are going to contribute to a cleaner state of mind.
Yeah.
Right.
You should definitely get to the gym.
Yeah, I
It'll
know.
be epic.
I know.
It'll be
Well,
epic.
that's why when we first sat down, I was like, that Apple Watch, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I could stand up now, but
one of the reasons that I haven't had an Apple Watch is when they first launched, all of my friends got them, and they were the most antisocial device, because you'd be sitting here, they'd get an alert link with their phone that a new message had come through, and they'd go. And it looked like they're checking the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Exactly, they're just getting a message.
And it constantly makes you feel like you're not worthy of their time. You're just sitting there going,
yeah, what was that? So yeah, cool.
hurry up, yeah?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So if I get one of those, I'm going to be that douche that wears 2 watches.
Okay.
Which is fine, because I like the analog thing. But the only reason I'll get that, and I'll turn off all of the like notification links,
is to kick your bum.
pure health, pure tracking.
That's all I have. Like
and holding it to account.
My entire screen is based on those rings,
Brilliant.
which tracks my calories burned, how many minutes that I exercise, and how long I stand up for in a day.
That's
I
brilliant.
never
Brilliant.
ever. Tell me what the time is. I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes
exactly,
past
for sure.
11. I never go. Oh, here's Siri.
Yeah.
Go away.
So in order to make it accurate, you have to map yourself to it, right? You have to put in your BMI, or your weight and your age.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
put your height, your weight,
whatever.
your age, you put in everything like that, and it tracks your heart rate. And then basically when you set up your exercise, because it's got a whole list of exercises that you can set it up to do, then it will generally track your movement, your heart rate, and estimate your calories burn and how many minutes you're working on exercise and stuff like that. But then when you're running, it will then track your GPS and stuff. And gives you so much stat about your heart rate going up and down, elevation.
And I find, I mean, it's sort of gamifying your health, because it's like, okay, this was you last week or last run, or I'm going to see if I can get a bit more out of that.
Every month you get set a month target. This month's target was, can you burn 22,500 calories, which I did 2 days ago. So I did 22,500 calories in about 20 days. And you get awards. You get little. Oh,
right. Okay. So
little badges.
They literally gamify.
It's literally like you're playing a game that is actually making you live longer.
I like this.
Yeah.
So this is part of that Wallace inspiration that I've got from his like movement, grenade movement.
Yeah,
Boof.
I love it
Super
because
cool.
I think like going to the gym is quite a daunting thing if you haven't been in a long time.
Yeah.
And for me as well, like I hadn't been in ages, and it was so nerve-wracking going back in to be like, oh my God, everyone's going to be looking at me. I don't really know what to do on that machine, so I'm going to be like trying to fiddle myself around, and you kind of get really self-conscious about it. But actually, you can take baby steps to the entire thing. I think if you go full on extreme, and if you call me up the next day and be like, dude, I'm vegan, I'm gymming 4 hours a day, like you're literally relapse in a week.
Yeah, you burn out.
You'll
you can't
burn
possibly
out.
do it. Yeah. You
So,
can't
for
possibly do
example, like I still have the odd Diet Coke,
Yeah.
but I have a water.
For
I
sure.
go to a restaurant, I have a burger, I won't have chips, but I have a salad.
That's
or
a
I
good
have
thing.
sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
So you still feel like you're rewarding yourself
Yes.
for going to the gym,
Yeah.
but then actually your mindset becomes and be like, oh my God, I had a burger, I don't even know how many calories was in that. When I go to the gym later, I'm going to beat myself up to
Interesting.
make sure
Yeah,
that I've balanced everything out. So
Yeah.
I don't listen to music when I go to the gym.
Do you not?
No, because
Oh,
I'm
wow.
basically lifting weights.
Yeah.
And if I'm like there and I like sort of realize that I'm gonna fail on this rep or whatever, I'll be like, no, you're not.
Okay.
Like, if you fail now, you're just gonna be like everyone else that doesn't go to the gym. You might as well go home.
Yeah.
And you get in your own head, and then you do it.
That's interesting. Okay.
And it's massively transformed everything that I do, not just in the gym.
No, for sure. And I
everything
think
else.
this, and it sounds like for us both, I mean, I haven't been vocal about it online at all, but there's definitely these sort of micro changes which I'll make.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the gym. And I'll be really real about that.
Yeah.
But what I will do...
I'm not gonna go to the gym.
No.
I'll just build one in my house.
No. But what I will do is try and do exercise around my own environment.
Yeah.
Go for a run,
Yeah.
go for a jog.
Yeah.
The countless hotels that we inevitably find ourselves at on these car
Yeah,
launches,
yeah.
go for a swim.
Yeah.
The environments themselves are often nice, go for a jog
Why don't you
around
go for a
there.
walk?
Eat a bit better, exactly.
Like,
eat
it's-
a bit better. Not go cold turkey. Because if you go cold turkey on every extreme of your life, you're absolutely right. You're going to crash, relapse, and go full chat, and you smash a pint of Ben & Jerry's and go, forget it. I'm done, man. I'm out.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm nervous about, in March, I've got this monstrous road trip, which is in the works. I can't really talk about it too much, but I'm going to be spending like so many hours of the day in the car that I'm a little bit nervous because it's within the 90-day transformation.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to create workouts in petrol stations.
I mean, you can do squats, press ups,
Yeah.
star jobs, whatever. Like
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
filling up.
gonna have to do like a 10-minute workout in every single petrol station. It's gonna be the weirdest ever mindset.
I was on a flight once, and thankfully the brand that I was flying out for upgraded me to business class.
Yeah.
So just a little bit more room there.
Yeah.
We're like 2 hours into this flight, and this dude jumps up, starts doing press-ups in the aisle.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I've
man,
seen
you
that.
make me feel so bad
Yeah.
right now.
Daniel Ricciardo, going back to Daniel Ricciardo,
Yeah.
he did like a GoPro clip of him in a bed in business class, and he did a full workout in the bed.
amazing. Yeah. And that is that sort of mindset shift of
Yeah, if you're
no
on a plane for
excuses.
14 hours, I mean, you're going to have to do
You're gonna
something.
have to do something, for
Our
sure.
bodies aren't meant
Yeah.
to be static.
Not at all. So you'll do it, man. If Ricciardo can do it in his cubicle, you can do it on the road.
Yeah.
Super cool. Cool. So how long has this been? I'm conscious that you have to film. We're about to peel the PPF off your 458.
Yes, we are. The
I'm excited
PPF,
for
I
that.
think, has been on it since new. So this 2013 car,
Yeah.
the PPF has been on it, and I think it's probably been quite heavily damaged by the heat and just general Saudi Arabia lifestyle.
I was going to say, because this is a Saudi car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to film the whole thing. Hopefully we can get the roof off at the same time. I might peel the roof off.
Yeah,
Give me
okay.
a heat gun and I'll go.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But I'm excited because technology back then on PPF, as you well know, in 2013,
Horrendous.
it's gone a little bit yellow. So half the
Yeah.
car is like a yellowy
yellow.
white, and the other half of the car is a really nice
When
white.
you pull this off, it could look amazing. It could look
Yeah.
fresh,
Yeah,
white.
especially with no black roof as
Or
well.
the clear coat could come off the car. So
Yeah.
it's going to go one or two ways.
And then I'm back down to Barkaways for another respray. Yeah, we'll see, but it'll be fun, and it's in good company as well.
Super cool. Well, I want to have you back on and we'll chat some more stuff and
Yeah,
we'll talk about
yeah.
progress. Let's get you back on after your 90-day challenge.
Yeah,
Talk about that journey.
I won't be topless though.
That's okay. That's okay, man. We'll have you splayed out on
I'll
this.
just be in an extra
on
small
this bench
t-shirt.
here. It's gone great. It's gone brilliant. Can't move my thighs. It's gone amazingly well. Dude, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to this year. Hopefully, we'll definitely have some overlap along the way.
Absolutely.
Do some road trips and some more cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Good luck with the 90-day challenge.
Go
follow
much.
Paul Wallace on various platforms. Supercars of London on Instagram and at WallacePJW.
Yeah.
And Supercars of London on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good things to come.
Get all of those handles in because it makes Patrick's life harder to edit.
Thanks, dude. Take it steady.
Awesome.
Cheers, mate.